my God. Drug test him now.
The beef with Marcellus, Wiley, and Stephen A. Smith explained. This all began when Max Kellerman got kicked off of First Take.
It is a bittersweet day here on First Take, as it is Max's final show back here.
All I wanted to say was to call in and to thank my man Max for the 5 years.
Stephen A. then went to various media outlets and threw Max under the bus.
I didn't like working with him, man. It's just that damn simple. I didn't like it. I thought the show was stale. I thought that we had flatlined when it came to the public at large, and I'm trying to win. But you weren't an athlete, and you weren't a journalist. And the absence of the two components left people wondering, why should we listen to you? Okay, well, you might have had that figured out on Sports Nation, or you might have had that figured out on another show. But on this show, if you looked at the content emanating in the social stratosphere, meaning YouTube and other components that you use to measure one's cachet, Q ratings, focus groups, all of these different things, it was like I was damn near doing the show by myself because we were oceans apart in terms of cachet. But at the end of the day, it was all business to me. And it was about, look, man, I'm trying to win. And I don't believe I can win with you.
Marcellus, Wiley got pissed off and exposed Stephen A.
Stephen A. felt threatened, point blank. There ain't no way around it. He got Max fired, put off the show. It's hard to say fired because he got him. Max got other opportunities, but as Stephen A. knows, those other opportunities were less. And those other opportunities were without favor. Stephen A. said this on the podcast, Joe Budden. Once Stephen A. ain't messing with you, it's going to be hard for other people to look at you the same or to rock with you. Stephen A. knew what he was doing. He gives the upstairs management an ultimatum that you can't work with him or me. Why? Because he's smart? Because he's smarter than you? Why? Because on black issues, T.O. says, and T.O.'s right, he sounds blacker than you. Why is T.O. right? Because you proved he was right. Not because he really sounded blacker than you, because you and your response. One, you took T.O.'s comments so seriously that you got out of character with T.O. Two, you got out of character with your partner. Three, you still talking about that, and it still gets to you because it got to you.
Stephen A. ignored Marcellus, but Marcellus would pop up again.
What do you want? Molly looks great.
Say this, Gil.
Okay.
When it comes down to the wire, right? Max Kellerman used to have this line, if the death beam was focused on the Earth and it's the Martians against the U.S. Right. If the NBA Finals.
Okay, all right. I don't think there's much more to that. Look, what more can I say? Stephen A. had a different response to it, and that response is what they wrote that long article about. But basically, let me sum up what that response basically is. Stephen A. Smith is killing it. Stephen A. Smith is winning. Stephen A. Smith is his own algorithm. Like, be real. Every time I go to try and find articles, like literally half of them are Stephen A. Smith. So a lot of my content's going to be Stephen A. Smith, and I have no problem with it. I won't go on Stephen A. Smith doing a topic on him. It doesn't bother me. But Max Kellerman's name still bothers him. And the only thing you can really get from that is the fact that what Max Kellerman was doing was outsmarting Stephen A. at his own game, which is a twofold game if you understand what Stephen A. Smith really is about. One is, I'm going to say stuff so profound or prolific or things that cut through that I'm going to be top dog, right? So that's one thing. And Max was starting to outsmart, not necessarily do better on the show because he wasn't fully himself. That wasn't Max Kellerman fully. He was kind of like a tame version. He was trying to get in where he fit in, and he didn't get in, right? So the other part of it is, so, you know, if you're Stephen A., you're like, yo, his name ain't buzzing, but he's saying some stuff. And Max is so nuanced, he was winning that conversation. Like people who were actually listening and thinking, not just reading headlines, was like, yo, Max is killing it. People reading the headlines was like, yo, Stephen A is killing it. We all went through this, so this is nothing new. The other part of it is, though, Stephen A wants to be the one who leads the charge. Look at his crew. Look at it right now. I mean, look what that is. Gil, Jay Will, and then him, right? Molly being the moderator. He wanted to lead the brothers. He wanted to be the big brother to all the other brothers, and to give out handouts to everybody else to come on up here to my level, which is remarkable, which is admirable, which is love. But then Max comes on here, obviously different paint job, but don't let the paint job fool you. And he had all the cultural references and all the cultural, ammunition necessary to make people say, oh, he could go to the cookout, and you know where that goes. Then all of a sudden, they start questioning you. And Stephen A, with his controversial takes at times, gets called the sellout, while Max is the brother. Max is down, right? Mind ninja. So that was complicated. That was really complicated. And I think that's still, obviously, by that reaction, Smith. And that's the one thing about Stephen A. Smith. You could tell, all the women in his life and is raised by his, his aunts and all that stuff. You could tell because he still shows and wears his emotional side.
Now Stephen A. had no choice but to respond.
I want to preface my comments by my pending comments by saying, my staff didn't want me to do this. They didn't want me to bring this up. So because of them, out of respect for them, I'm not going to mention names or the trifling ass individuals that keep talking shit about me. See, I don't mind. That's the thing that people miss. This kind of stuff makes me happy. It's right up my alley. It's right up my alley. It don't bother me. It didn't bother me before I got paid. It didn't bother me before I returned back to Sirius XM starting September 2nd. It didn't bother me before I had my own YouTube channel. Damn sure it don't bother me now. Only thing that bothers me is when people ask me not to say anything. I like to choose, even though I have the power to do so. I like to choose, but I listen to my teammates. I listen to my staff. I listen to people who I know love and support me because they got my best interests at heart. You feel what I'm saying? So I get it. But I saw people on the air. First of all, let's go down the list. They got on me for playing solitaire for a couple of minutes during the NBA game. Even contemporaries on other networks were talking about me. And of course, a couple of people in the podcast stratosphere used to be in sports, but now can't get a damn job. So their job all of a sudden is being a media critic instead of covering sports, but we won't go there. So they got on me for playing solitaire. They said that I was upset that Max Kellerman, my former colleague at ESPN on First Take, I got upset because he's going to be calling the Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight in September. They looked at my face and said I was upset. They talked about the NBA coverage. And one site said that I was a net negative on the NBA coverage. Should check the ratings. Really, really should. But that's neither here nor there. People saying this stuff. Couple of things. Number one, I was doing my podcast here. While I was doing my podcast and waiting for some footage to be drawn up or something like that. You know what I was doing? Solitaire. I do it all the time. Why? Because I want to, that's why. I do what the hell I want to do on my platform. Because I was playing solitaire. I said it was during the timeout. Somebody said it wasn't during the timeout. Well, when the timeout finished, I was still playing it. in the middle of the third quarter and making it up. Max Kellerman. I'm upset about Max Kellerman. I have nothing against Max Kellerman. I didn't want to work with him on First Take anymore. That's all. I didn't think we were good partners for a debate show. If we were doing boxing, if we were doing Sports Center or something like that, nothing. No problem. For a 2-hour daily debate show, I didn't think we worked any longer. That's all. Never wanted him fired. Never wanted him unemployed. Happy he's back. Because I don't wish for brothers not to get a check. Even though his boy will lie his ass off and say otherwise because he gonna get more clicks. Y'all know who the hell it is. It's unbelievable. The shit that people make up just to create clicks because that's all you can do to get a check now. I'm not talking about Max. I'm talking about his peeps. Y'all know who they are with their podcast. You got to be kidding me. But it's all right. It's okay. Because you see, when you make stuff up and you're talking about me, you still have me in the headlines. Which means you believe I'm relevant. Which means you know that it will create clicks for you. And that really kills you, doesn't it? Although I'm still going to ignore 98% of the stuff that I hear about me.
What about the other 2?
That 2% of the time is when I'll feel compelled to respond.
No, don't do it.
Folks,
Okay. You had me shook there. I even hit the button late to stop you. God dang it. Stephen A. coming after you, 2%ers. Stephen A. was funny. What's funny about this film session right here was Dan Le Batard, someone you love. So therefore, even though he lied, as you said, because you didn't get Max Kellerman fired, he lied, but since you love him, it's all good. I ain't talking about him. So you're not talking about somebody who lied, even though Dan's my boy as well. So I'm just using this as an example. You ain't talking about somebody who lied. Nah, because I love him. Oh, so you come at people who tell the truth because you don't like them. So there's another lie. Why don't you just say what it is? You don't like certain people, right? Whether it's Max or whether it's me or whether it's Whitlock or who else, Nick Wright or I don't know who else you've been talking about. Rashad McCants, I heard is some of this smoke for. All the people that you haven't named that we know who you're talking about. That Stephen A. Just say you don't like us because it ain't about us telling the truth or not. Because we telling the truth. At least I am. I know I ain't got no reason to lie. I'm telling the truth because I'm using your words against you or for you. So I know I'm telling the truth. I'm not over here just blank screen. Hey, guess what I heard about Stephen A? And then you be like, what is his references? My references are right there. Which way? Right there next to me. That dude. Him. Crazy. Okay, so I just learned that if you lie, it's okay because if I love you, it's okay. In media. But if you tell the truth in media, but I don't like you, that's how I'm going to do it. You do that to the athletes as well. Oh, yeah, you don't like LeBron. Oh, yeah, AI is going to cut you up and show all the times you hated on LeBron or more importantly, forget the hate because that's too obvious. The times you didn't give him enough love. You didn't give him all his flowers. You kept it short because you didn't like him. And another thing you kept short that I caught in there is the fact that you said you didn't get Max Kellerman fired from ESPN, which is true. You didn't. But what you did is interesting because I've seen this happen before, right? I've even had it happen to me before. It's a play that you can run when you don't like your co-host, right? So the first thing you do is you stop laughing at his jokes, right? Then you leave him out to dry when he makes a great point. He says something great and he's waiting for you to give him some love so y'all can keep building, but you just sitting there like this. Right? Then you invite others to disrespect them because you ain't showing them respect. So then people who aren't even your co-hosts, just guests on the show, they start clowning. Does this sound familiar? Yeah. While at the same time, you know what you do? You go upstairs to the bosses and just be like, yo, Man, he doesn't fit with this show, man. People aren't feeling him on this show. I don't know if he's prepared for it. And then, no, you didn't get him fired, because all the boss is going to say, which is jackpot, he says, yeah, let me look into that further. And you're like, all right. So then they just remove him or whatever it may be, because the powers that be, that's how it goes. And you had the power. You inherited the show from Skip, and then it's your show, and Max is trying to inherit whatever you're going to give him, whatever's left over. Get in where you fit in. You know what happens after that? You don't have to get him fired, because all you did was poison the waters that he needs to swim in. Good luck with that, Max. Good luck with that, anybody. Come on, big dog. I love this show too much. Anybody got jokes? Anybody got real criticism? Anybody got real hate? Anybody got anything? Send me them videos. Trust me, I'll break it down. That's what we are going to do. So I heard some more warning shots in there, but I also heard no names, so I'm not even going to address it. But he's addressing all of this stuff that doesn't bother him for 13 minutes, which I find damn interesting. So we learned. Let's keep going.
Let's start some shit. I'm here for it.
Oh, what'd you just say?
That's all I want to say.
Start some shit.
Y'all have a nice summer.
Oh, here we go.
I'll be around periodically, right here, over the digital airwaves of YouTube.
Promo, let's go.
Looking forward to talking to y'all as stuff unfolds during the summer, but especially looking forward to the fall and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
I got First Take. I got my own 2-hour sports radio show.
Beast.
I got a political show.
Beast.
That's weekly as well. And that's just for starters. Either way you slice it, here I come. Buckle up. Y'all be ready. Because I damn sure will be.
That's my dog.
Peace and love, everybody. Be safe. God bless. Holla at you.
Oh, Ray Lewis ain't got shit on me. Hey, look at all these favorites. Oh, I'm top one. Oh, I like that. Cool. All right, here we go. I played a lot of football, y'all. That sounds like right before the kickoff, before we know who's really going to win this game and who's really going to ball. Everybody could say anything. I don't know to be excited, or should I be shook or scared that September 2nd is coming and Stephen A. Smith is coming with a reckoning for the media and athletes. Like, we are in the Twilight Zone, bizarro world where I actually feel threatened loosely about his return. Like, he about to come at me unnecessarily. I don't care if you come at me, but you're just coming at me to come at me for sport? Interesting. Okay. Well, just like in sports, since you want to go there, you want to go to that place, guess what we know in sports? We don't need to hear it. We don't need to see it. We need you to be it, right? And that's how we get it. So be about it, all right? I'm tired of hearing about it. Be about it, right? I don't want to see that you pumped up for a game. I want you to ball. Be it. People always want to hear. Look, all that counts as well, but I know too many guys who, we going to go do all this. You ain't it. Be about it. I ain't got to hear about it. I ain't even got to see it. Oh, look at me, man, in warm-ups. Cats be getting psyched out by that all the time, looking at somebody in warm-ups, looking all fresh. Dog, this is pre-game right now. Why are you trying to hype it up like you about to come at somebody? So just like in sports, we don't need to hear about it. Be about it. That's it. Simple as that. So I'm ready for September 2nd. Shoot. But that tells me something. Let me tell you this. September 2nd sounds like how every year someone makes a New Year's resolution. You know how your auntie is. You know how your cousins are. Oh, next year, I'm about to. September 2nd, I'm about to. You know why New Year's resolutions don't work? It's because you can't make an appointment with accountability. And that's the core issue of all of this that I heard from Stephen A. Disappointment with being accountable. These lies, these distant truths. Instead of just being accountable, like, yeah, I was playing solitaire. I don't watch the whole game. Yeah, okay, guess what? I don't like you. Yeah, it's just that. Instead of, that's why he goes on that tour for Max, because he just can't admit, dog, why y'all let this dude come in and get my pass, my hood pass, right? How y'all gonna really believe he blacker than me? All that stuff, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So this
beef has been brewing, for a while now. Max Kellerman has been gone from First Take for about 4.5 years now, I believe, around that. Minimum 4 years. And that's when this all started. Because, all right, Max obviously wouldn't speak for himself when Stephen A. booted him out of First Take. So his spokesman here, Marcellus Wiley, all right, went after Stephen A. for him, called him a liar and so on. And now, obviously, if you've seen like the title of Marcellus Wiley's video here, he's saying Stephen A. is calling him a liar, a hater, and so on and so forth. But he was the one in 2021 who called Stephen A. the liar. All right, and said he was putting on the gloves and all of this. But now it seems as though he's trying to make himself and Max seem like the victims, which is kind of strange to me. Okay? But in terms of Stephen A., whatever. At first he was kind of dancing around this whole issue. But now he's just coming straight out. Right? And saying, that he didn't want to work with Max. And that's his right. If he didn't want to work with the guy, I mean, why is Marcellus Wiley coming out here and defending Max and still pushing the issue? I don't know. I don't get it. Max not even saying anything. I know he won't say anything. I don't really see anybody else saying anything, saying that, Stephen A's a snake or he shouldn't have done this or shouldn't have done that. I don't see it from anybody except from Marcellus Wiley. All right, so could Stephen A. really be correct in that he's doing this just because he wants clicks? I mean, he's done 2 videos on this. Like I said a long time ago, when he does videos on Ryan Clark, he goes in. I think last time I counted at least 10 videos done talking about Ryan Clark. So could Stephen A. really be correct in his assertion that Marcellus is just doing all of this for clicks? Right? And I know he said something like he's the athlete here, who's trying to go against the media or whatever. But when you look around the media landscape, it's full of athletes. I mean, even on ESPN, Stephen A. has surrounded himself with athletes. And he had Shannon Sharp on there as well. Like, he has a bunch of athletes. And the guy that you're going up against most of the time, Ryan Clark, is a former athlete as well. And a more accomplished one than you also. So, I'm not understanding. I think that if you were not an athlete and you were going after the athletes, or if this was like 1990 or the year 2000, maybe when athletes were not being featured as much in the media, then you would have a point. But nowadays, it's mostly former athletes who are controlling the media on TV and also on YouTube. So I don't get what he's saying, like he's the police of YouTube or something like that, or the police of the media, when it comes to them talking negatively about the players. But it's his peers. It's his peers who are talking nowadays anyway. TJ Houshmandzadeh, Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, all these guys, they're former players. So I'm kind of lost. If somebody could tell me in, the comments, like what is Marcellus Wiley's real purpose here? I hear him talk about using your words against you or whatever. I don't know. Somebody let me know. But that's about it. So until next time.